Hey guys, welcome back to Paranormal Talk. If you've ever watched any of my videos before, you should be well aware that not all of my content is suitable for all ages. This is your parental advisory, explicit content warning. Enjoy the video. Alright guys, so we're working our way over to building number 15, which is the Women's Infirmary. So if you don't know what an infirmary is, this is where patients who were injured came. You have to assume that if some of them were injured severely enough, they probably died. I know of several deaths that have been recorded, such as a woman beating another patient who was strapped to a bed to death with an iron rod that was used for scrubbing floors. So I would have to assume that that patient, who was a female, ended up in this building. Let's go ahead and open up the Ghost Hunting Tools app and run a test. All right, so we're over here at the Women's Infirmary. Let's see if we can find a doorway that's got... Oh, already got a spike. Go up the steps. If you're a patient here, or a doctor or a nurse, we're just here to communicate. We're not here to hurt you. We expect the same respect in return. We come here with the utmost respect.
Thank you. Hello, ladies.
Ladies, we would just like to communicate with you. I'm not a doctor. You don't have to be afraid of me.
You guys are hurt.
If you could come over to this window. I have a device here that I sat down. You can use your energy to communicate with us through this device.
If you have any.
Yeah, if you have any.
Because when you're injured, you might, have less energy.
And that's very possible. We would love to communicate if you have the energy to do so.
If you're a nurse.
I'm Nathan. This is Danny. And if you could you come forward, please, and tell us what is the nature of your injury?
If we get axe.
That was really weird to put that back there.
Because remember the pickaxe incident. So if we get axe.
Yeah, but that was a male patient, though.
Yeah.
So that was a male patient.
Alright, so we were more likely that than the men's thing. Did any women die of gruesome deaths?
The one that I've described, which was the woman who beat the other patient to death with a iron rod. And that woman was completely defenseless. She was strapped to the bed.
But are you the woman that was hit with the iron rod?
And according to the accounts that I found through the history, like, she was pretty much unrecognizable. Elijah.
Could be a doctor. It would be a very taboo girl's name. I'm getting a lot of taboo girl names.
Who is Elijah? Are we speaking to Elijah? Elijah, I'm Nathan. This is Danny. We just want to talk to you. We want you to tell us your story.
As we understand that you're hurt. But it would be greatly appreciated if you told us what you're in the infirmary for. If you could.
You can do it.
You're almost there.
I know it's difficult to communicate considering you're probably injured. You have to remember too, a lot of the stuff that happened here, it wasn't just patient injury as far as patient to patient. I mean, the doctors themselves and the nurses were quite abusive.
Yeah, I would guess so. If it was being mentally ill was considered taboo, I would guess it was abusive and try to maybe beat the insane out of them.
I mean, there's been accounts of nurses beating patients. I have several accounts of that actually in my research at home. So if they ended up here, it might not even be a patient to patient. It could be a doctor to patient or nurse to patient injury.
Were you beaten by a nurse or a doctor? If we go back over to the overflow place, we could see where the spirits there are. Is the person who was cooked alive in the hydrant chamber?
That's a thought.
Were you from the overflow rooms? Or were you more excitable or quiet?
Were you insane at all? Were you just put here as a victim of circumstance? Alright, so...
It's a lot of flies.
IOvilus on.
Yeah, this one. This one.
I just want to see what happens. If there's anyone here with us at the women's infirmary, you can come forward and use this device to speak to us.
Because this might be easier than the last one that we had. And we understand that you're injured.
Why don't we try the back of the building?
Yeah, there might be
War.
more patients.
War.
Or
War. Okay.
what's that?
War.
War. Well, you gotta think. This time was probably during, considering it was open during the First World War. Not the First World War.
Well, yeah, it was open during World War I and II.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think that anyone came here unless it was a, maybe a style case of PTSD.
Exactly.
Away.
Away.
That would be considered as insane. PTSD.
In theory, yeah.
What did it say?
Away.
Away. Are we too far from you? If you hear that, there's just some people walking their dog. Golden Retriever, to be exact.
War and away. So they could have been away at war.
Or
So that would make sense.
if they were a nurse, they might have been hired as a nurse for the war.
Maybe.
And whenever they came back, maybe, the conditions were a lot worse.
And I figured we could go ahead and run a test with the IOvilus. I mean, we got good results with it last time.
Yeah, they were alright.
Well, gotta think, we got some of the best app evidence I've ever had. We got told to take a photo. I took a photo and we got that missed.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was pretty good.
So there is another 2 doorways back here. Why don't we sit this on the one with the steps?
And look, the window sills are pretty much sitting in front of them.
So these are definitely probably patient rooms here.
Definitely.
So just sit this on the windowsill. The only thing I dislike about this app is it's very difficult to tell when you're going to have anything come through. But
Hear that there's just someone running.
you know what? I have an idea.
IOvilus off.
What's that?
The M2. I just wanted to try a few different apps and see what works out okay. If nothing seems to work as well as the other one, we'll just go back to that.
Hello? We get that you're injured and maybe don't have a lot of energy to speak, but if you could talk to us, that would be greatly appreciated, ladies. Or lady. I wonder, did they have any kids? Kid patients?
None that I'm aware of, but I mean, I have to assume it's possible. Most times in this day and age, whenever your kid had a mental disability, you would just lock them in a room in your house and not let anyone know that they even exist.
Yeah.
So the PEVP on this is a phonetic EVP. It's got a phonetic generator in it, just like the other ones do, that will speak like actual words.
So it won't give you text.
Right. No, you get the text. But you know what? We could try the whole dashboard.
Dashboard. Whoa. Okay.
So this one's got a ghost radar. Lux, it tells you the lighting. It's got the barometer, which is going to tell you the differentials in barometric pressure. You got your geo, which is vibration. If I hit this, see it's not doing it now. It did before.
Ache.
Ache.
Ache. That's pretty substantial considering that they're injured.
That is.
What aches? Like what part of your body?
Are you seriously injured?
Or do you just ache?
See, here you got the radar. It's telling us there's something nearby here that it detected.
It's behind us, isn't it?
It looks to be about where we're standing, actually.
Oh.
Because you got to remember, the center of that radar is where we're standing. Is where the phone is. Is where the device is.
Yeah. So it's right there.
Could you come forward and tell us your name? I'm Nathan. I would like to speak with you.
If you don't have enough energy to, that's alright as well. We get that with you being injured, it may be hard to speak.
I just thought it would be nice to try and maybe test a few different apps and see what kind of responses we may or may not have come through.
Yeah.
We're getting really good responses with the Ghost Hunting Tools app, so we might switch back to that. Just wanted to run a few different tests and see what we got. We might as well over here, right?
I didn't get to see what showed up. Oh, it's right there. Look, it's you.
Yeah.
Could be a nurse.
Alright, let's try walking with it. Got some shingles. You good?
Yeah. I was aiming still. My leg was too stiff. Oh, what is that? You might think I'm injured.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, because you have your knee brace on.
And my ankle brace.
Try one of these windows over here.
I have my knee and ankle brace on. I don't trust that.
I do.
Oh wow, look at that barometric pressure. That is high.
Yeah, but it seems to be about the baseline. It was about the same over there. And we can
No,
always,
that one, the one
can
above
always
the radar.
refresh it.
No, the one above the radar.
With this?
No, the one above the ghost radar.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
That's your Lux. That's your lighting.
Oh, okay, I'm an idiot. No. Good at me.
Definitely moving the phone. See, I'm not a fan of this one because of all the weird
Dog.
swoopings. Dog. Oh yeah, people do come here to walk dogs quite often.
Yeah.
Do you not like the fact that there's dogs here, or do you feel comforted?
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Could they be like an immigrant?
Maybe. I mean, that could explain the name Jasmine.
That would, because Jasmine's more Venezuelan.
Yeah, but Jasmine was a response we got way on the other side of the facility.
Well, maybe Jasmine followed us.
Possible.
Jasmine, are you following us?
If you hear the wind, guys, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. We're
Jordan.
outside.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Jordan, same name.
So,
So it's not Jasmine, it's Jordan.
did we already get Jordan?
Yeah. Jordan's written down. Remember, Jordan was the one that was chained. The one that had the like seashore.
Oh, yeah. At the... Okay.
So she might have been transferred to the infirmary.
That's very possible.
Well, Jordan, it's nice to see that you're still here with us.
So, for the record, this is the first time I've had this particular device on this setting spit out words at me. I haven't gotten that before. I didn't get any words at the house.
Computer.
No, that's
Computer.
This may be the first time that it's actually giving you the same name response.
Computer.
Always.
Always. Computer, always.
No. I said, I said, it's great that you're still here with us, and they said, always.
I'm just trying to figure out what I meant by computer.
It's a computer. Oh, what you're holding in your hand.
What I'm holding in my hand is a computer, but depending on how old the spirit is, I wouldn't know what a computer is.
Well, yeah, I think Jordan's more of a taboo name for the 1800s, so maybe someone who was born more late. Maybe the 90s.
Maybe.
Could have been born in the 80s, know what a computer is, could have died young.
Yeah, that's possible. That's very possible. What is that?
Considering that I think Jordan would have been a more common name in the 80s and 90s.
So that was our test at the women's infirmary. I decided to try the Ghost Hunting M2 app, and I tried the IOvilus. We seem to get some responses with the M2, which does not surprise me. It's a relatively good app.
But the thing with the M2 was that we got the same name that we got using the Ghost Box. And that's really shocking to me. I don't think we would have gotten the same name.
That is a little odd. It's really a good correlation, though. Because if Jordan was in the epileptic ward, had a bad seizure,
Would be
could
transferred
have
to
got
the
transferred to the infirmary.
And if they were late 80s, they would have known what a computer was.
So we're gonna head over to what's called the R building, which is the overflow building. There's a lot of speculation about this building. Some people don't think it was an overflow at all because of the 16-foot high chain link fence.
Don't mind the person walking.
So why would a building need a 16-foot high chain fence if it was just overflow?
Unfortunately, we cannot reach a lot of places on the overflow building considering it's chained up. But we're gonna try our best.
Yeah, so it's just really weird. It almost looks like gunshots in that window up there.
Yeah.
But the R building is said to be labeled as overflow, but some of the urban legends are that it wasn't for overflow, it was for extremely violent inmates. There's actually a red light that used to be a beacon, and that would be a beacon to call out to other nurses if there was an incident. So,
Or, maybe someone escaped.
so it's really awkward if they would have that light, and that's the only building, for the record, that has that light.
Which would make sense if it was a more violent patient.
So we're gonna give that a shot here, and we're gonna fire up the M2 maybe, and then switch probably back over to the ghost hunting app, the ghost hunting tools, because we've been getting really good responses with that one all day. All right, we're over here at the R building.
Okay.
About to sit this on the floor.
Okay.
There's no, oh, sorry.
You're right.
Is anyone here with us? We just wish to communicate.
Good
meaning
evening,
no harm.
Good evening, ladies or men or whatever gender
This would
you
technically
are.
be the women's overflow according to the map.
But if it wasn't the women's overflow and it was for more violent patients, I would think they would have both genders.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they kept them separated, which for the record, this chain link area does have 4 or 5 different areas labeled A, B, C, D, E, and I think it goes through E. So those sectors, people claim it's for your level of violence, but you know what, if they list it as an overflow building, it's got to be an overflow building, you would think. Or are they listing it that to cover more sinister acts that happened at this facility?
We could ask the ghost. How were you guys treated in this building?
Lawanda.
Luanda. That's a weird name.
More exotic.
Yeah.
I'll write that one down. Let's see if there's anyone named Lawanda.
Yeah, that's a weird name to get. Lawanda, are you the one speaking with us?
Right.
You hear that in the background? There's a bunch of kids over there playing basketball on the basketball court. Could you tell us, are you a male or
Behind.
a female? Behind. Are you saying that you're behind this door, or are you behind us?
Feel behind you.
I don't feel any cold spots.
Right here.
No, not really.
It's a bit cold, but not too cold.
Maybe that could just be a draft. It is a little windy.
Yeah.
Are you behind the door?
Are you a more violent inmate? Or, sorry, patient?
College.
College.
I mean, that could be important. It could be a nurse.
And it very well could be a nurse.
I mean, they did have to go to college. Or nursing school. I think I spelled that wrong.
Let's try the ghost hunting tools up again.
Yeah, there we go, that's better. So, currently our names are Brady, Ashton, Adam, Alice, Jasmine, Jordan, Seth, Julian, Elijah, and Lamanda. Nightmare.
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 Are you saying that living here was a nightmare?
No, I mean, electroshock, hydrotherapy. It
That would,
very well would be a nightmare.
yeah, and that would hint to the more sinister things that people claim happened in this building other than just an overflow.
Were you guys treated horribly in this sector? Jordan.
We'll put Jordan with an X too, so we know we got the name twice. Warm air. It is warm out.
Oh, if they were the hydrotherapy, it would be very warm.
Yeah, hydrotherapy, they did it one of two ways. They did it extremely hot or extremely cold, like ice baths. So, they'd have a patient that was boiled alive in the hydrotherapy.
The air would have very well been warm.
Oh, it very well, the air would have been warm in the hydrotherapy ones. Were you subjected to hydrotherapy here? Sam.
Sam. We've never gotten Sam before. I'll write that down.
Could you give me a last name to go with that?
We have to have Seth.
Could you tell me Sam's last name?
Sam Winter.
It's worth a look, I guess.
I mean, Winter wouldn't have been an uncommon last name back then.
No, it wouldn't have been uncommon at all to have that last name.
Especially not Sam Winter. That would have been really common.
Yeah,
There could be dozens of Sam Winters.
yeah, it's probably short for Samuel. It's what they would have probably listed him as.
So I'll write underneath that Samuel.
Or is it saying that winters here were very harsh? Because the winters here back then, over the years it's gotten warmer due to climate change. So I can assume that winters here at this facility were brutal.
I wrote down Samuel Winter just in case. This is the first time we've gotten something close to a last name.
Yeah.
Be very relative. If you heard that, that was just a dog.
So, basically,
So, Sam, how were you treated here? What was the name of the guy who was boiled alive?
I would have to look it up. I have it at home. It's in my research at home.
Because if we're talking with the person
I don't think his name is Sam.
it might not have been. It's just correlation with wrong error.
It could be.
And it's a guy.
I mean, it's a good speculation.
Boots. Well, they'd have to wear boots whenever they were working outside when it was cold.
Maybe. That could just be something random. Why don't we walk to another...
You could, but I'll just write down boots, just in case. Oh.
Come on.
Like,
That might have got my response though.
slow down.
Let's dying back down. You took that over there. That building was a men's quiet ward, right?
Yeah.
I remember what number 12 was.
I don't remember either. I'll have to look.
Let's look at that.
I'll be right back to you. Okay.
So, 12 was a men's quiet ward. So, that one's the men's quiet ward over there. What building is that?
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. I just wanted to see if I could... 14. Okay, so there's a men's and a women's quiet ward right there, too.
There are two.
So we're right next to those two.
Sam. Sam? You on the app? What are you doing?
Is anybody here with us? Could you come forward and speak to us? Seth.
Seth, we have Seth in here.
I just said Seth, and we definitely had that on our list of names.
Yes, Seth.
Are we speaking to Seth? We may have to go back and listen to this because using the screen record is not very loud. I'm pretty sure I've got my... Yeah. Were you a patient here? Warden.
Warden. I'll write it down. What else did you say?
I'm just gonna try to put this down and review it later because I don't know what it's saying. I can't really hear it.
I heard warden.
If you were a patient here, how were you treated? I would expect to get more responses, like mixed as far as women and men, because the whole facility had men and women, but the overflow, I just don't think this is an overflow building. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this for a second. We're at the overflow building here, and I actually think I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the necrophonic test. We seem to be getting good responses at the last portion I just did, and we got the name Seth, which we've already had appear on the other app.
Yeah, if you watched the video, you know that.
So we're gonna go on and test the necrophonic a little bit more. Most of it we can't hear, so we might have to just go back and have a listen, but we definitely are getting responses coming through.